Hello everyone, checking out Ctesiphon. This is a game I played in the past, a couple of times at least, but that was a while back. Previously the developer kind of had only one level, I think, any of the times I had played the game, and from what I can tell, they've gone ahead and done a lot of work on some like actually new level design and stuff, so I wanted to check this out again. It looks quite different than I had ever seen it before, so apparently the developer's gone and taken things in a little bit of a different direction, so it'll be interesting to see this. Got the game page open here. It says, her long-awaited vacation cut short by an orbital invasion, bounty hunter Ethelyn Dax takes on a whole army of mercenaries and their robotic auxiliaries to conquer the resort city of Ctesiphon. A sci-fi boomer shooter in alpha, currently just a single test level. The game has been through multiple rewrites and on 2 long hiatuses. Yeah, so I haven't been following this closely exactly, but from what I've seen in the past, it seemed like the game did sort of stagnate for a while, or the project I should say, and yeah, it looks like the developer's kind of back on it, so that'll be cool to see. So let's go ahead and try and jump into this. I do believe it's in borderless window mode at the moment. I don't know if there's going to be a means to change that. Soon full screen VSync is disabled. Yeah, it's borderless window mode. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get VSync actually off because of that. Field of view, okay, that's in video, and then controls is here, so we've got the mouse X and Y. Oh, lock, okay, we've got an option to lock the axes. Invert mouse, walk when aiming. Inverts run/walk, so you walk by default when scoped in. Oh, okay. Walk instead of run while scoped in. Okay, so I guess you're probably running by default, is what I'm gathering from this. Makes sense. Some, especially older shooter games, have like a button for walking instead of a button for running. Alright. W and Z? Wait, what? Why would Z be bound here? Strafe left is bound to Q also? I don't know if that was just something kind of left in by the developer when they were messing with things and it just kind of made it into the build, or if that was intentional. It seems like strange. Anyways, WASD, walk is left shift, left control, space, mouse 0, mouse 1, interact is going to be on F. I might just change that to E because I like using E key for that. Reload is R. Right, wheel up, wheel down. Okay, these are different weapon numbers, so good enough. Interesting, we've got ambient volume, menu volume, and master volume, okay. Oh, game options, okay, auto switch, auto reload, head bobbing, weapon bobbing. Interesting. I really would I wonder who would want to like turn this off, because this is one of these quality of life things. Like, it's hard for me to imagine somebody being like, oh, I hate it when the weapon reloads automatically, you know, and I want to go in and turn that off, so it's kind of weird. Like, if anyone is like that out there, I'm just curious about what that thought process is. In any case, let's go ahead and click on new game. We've got default key bindings, press space to begin. Okay, I think we still got some VSync going on here. It doesn't feel too laggy, but still laggier than I would like, so that's going to affect my ability to aim effectively here. Nonetheless, pretty crispy looking. I like all these little dangly beats. It's somewhat more detailed than I remember the previous level being. Is mostly just blocky, you know, kind of like these buildings over here, I guess, but mostly blocky, and now there's like foliage and stuff, so it's kind of cool to see. I think the default sensitivity is kind of okay. It's maybe a little high for me, maybe just a little bit, but Alright, looks like we have a little... Oh. That's weird how that inverts, like the, It looks like the dead space turns into the not... Or, what am I saying? The negative space turns into the positive space. Because the way the color inverts is kind of funky. Yeah, I guess this is fine. I kind of wish there was like a number. But at least it's got discrete values here. Because it's hard to keep track of like where it was before and stuff like that because it's not like a numbered. So like you have to try and like memorize where this is spatially instead, which is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hard to do. Also, it might, I think you probably want this to be a little bit finer of the control because it's only like, yeah, we've only got like 10 different possible values here. You probably want a little bit finer control for mouse sensitivity than that, I would think. Not like infinitely fine, but finer would probably be good. But yeah, other than that, I guess just have to try and deal with the latency. And it's always a bummer trying to play an FPS game where you get some latency on the mouse input. I'm also noticing if it seems like a few frames are dropping here and there just because I'm sure because of the VSync, you know, being active and everything. And jumping feels pretty good. You don't have much air control. It's not zero. Oh, a bit slidey feeling, I guess. So I don't know if we're gonna be jumping around too much, but you know, could help to maybe have just a little bit. Alright, so I can jump onto things okay. But yeah, I'm a proponent of having some decent air control. This is definitely better than nothing, but it's a little bit slight, you know, you kind of get the Halo 1 effect where anytime you have to jump on stuff it just feels awful because there's very little air control. But what does that say? Cyber what? Cyber Nectar, okay. But yeah, nice quick movement here. Keycard needed. Wondering if it would feel nice if there was a little bit less inertia when you're walking, because you still kind of slide around a little bit. That's like a very small detail. Do I just kill these guys? Are you bad?
Huh?
I guess so. Oh my gosh, I can't really... Oh, they do shoot through the glass. Okay, took a lot of damage. I wasn't really thinking about the damage that much in that encounter. Really wishing I can turn off the VSync. The aiming is just kind of frustrating with that going on. But it looks like these actually give us health, so that's interesting to find out. But, so it seems like the first enemies I ran into are using hit scan weapon. I mean, it's pretty typical to have hit scan weapons in FPS games that aren't, you know, Doom or whatever. But you do have to worry about the whole issue of damage avoidance. Like, are they always going to be hitting you, or like, do they have bad aim? Looks like I got a blue key card here. It's always like one of the first things I look for in trying out an FPS game is like, how does the damage avoidance work out? Because when you're talking about an FPS game, you have sort of a problem that needs to be solved, which is that if you can shoot an enemy, then they can shoot you. But for, you know, to have a well-designed action game, you have to have the ability for the player to avoid damage so that they're not just in a constant, you know, exchange. So, you know, you have to answer that question. How does that look? How do you allow the player to avoid taking damage while they're killing enemies? And there's different answers to that question, but you have to find one. So I guess I'll be thinking about that moving forward. I don't really have a sense of like where am I and where am I supposed to go. I think I remember that from the health has stopped off. So from the original, I don't want to say original, but the earlier versions of this game that I tried, where the layout was kind of like this, where it was just kind of quite open-ended and not any particular, the player isn't really being pushed in any particular direction, so that just leaves me like feeling like I'm wandering around. So I feel like you could definitely, in terms of level design, kind of tighten things up by having some sense of like progression from start, you know, beginning to end. You know, you could have, of course you can have places that branch off and stuff like that, but I guess this is the only way I haven't gone, so...
Huh?
Oh my gosh. Okay, they have really... They can see you from really far away. Interesting choice. It generally... Looks like we got a submachine gun, do I... Oh, I've got a pokey bit here. I generally am a bit wary about enemies having vision range too far. There's a lot of trouble you can get into doing that kind of thing. Depends, of course, but just have to be kind of careful about that, because you can easily end up in situations where it's like either the player feels like they're safe when they're not, or they just like, you know, they get seen from some weird corner of the level and they just have no idea where the enemy's seen them from, and then they're getting shot at from some weird place and stuff. The footsteps sounded a little weird for a moment there. It was another guy who got stuck here, I guess. Yeah, it's quite hard for me to move and aim and manage the recoil at the same time, so it seems like the easiest thing to do is just stop moving for a bit while I try and aim. Of course, being able to turn off VSync would help a little bit in that regard. I feel like there's something up there. That looks like something, right? It does say press F to interact. I guess I still have the F key bound, so I don't know if that's reacting to my bindings or not. Because I set it to E, but it was like the second binding. How would you get over there? That reload is real snappy. All these casings. I feel like this should be a simple thing to figure out, like if there's a way to get up. Oh, I'm a little stuck here. Okay. Yep. Little corner interaction there. Got a little goofy, I guess. Also press and jump here. This also sticks a little bit if I pull forward into this. Oh yeah, now I'm stuck again. So kind of wiggling around with the WASD will get me out of there. So it could be worse, but yeah, I don't know how to. Oof. Yeah. So like when you have to interact with stuff like this. It's like suddenly the normal movement speed is way too much, and then it's like, okay, gotta use the walk, but it still feels a little slidey, you know. I kind of wish there was a little bit, you know, still keep it slow, but a little less inertia on that would make it not only feel more responsive, but a little bit more in control, you know. I feel like there's a purpose to coming up here. What on earth am I looking at? It's like a giant cactus or something. So yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I mean, you can see I have access to the earlier parts of the level from this rooftop, but I don't know why I would want that. I feel like jumping up here should lead to something, but I don't know. I guess there's just nothing of interest there. Okay, we've got... What? Oh, hello. Alright, so again, I'm not really sure how do I avoid their attacks? I don't know if it's just if you keep moving then they hit you less, but it's quite hard for me to, like I said before, to handle the aiming with the strafing simultaneously at the moment. But so the other thing is I don't think I particularly like just walking in here and being assaulted by robots that you can't really see until you look like all the way back up here. Like I feel like in terms of the level design here, that's just kind of a goofy place to shove the enemies. I don't know if I think actually I think I remember that I might have seen the developer mention something about how they didn't realize how the spatial audio wasn't working in the current build or something, so you know that might be something that would help a little bit. But even so, it's quite, you know, it's quite hidden up there. It's like right in the worst. It's like if you could imagine having a blind spot on a car. It's like the worst place for something to show up. This is like the worst place I can imagine to put. Like I guess worse would be here maybe if there was like a little ledge right here. I don't know, but yeah, because not only are they like almost behind you, but also on a different vertical level, and it's like I don't know. It's just kind of weird to just put the enemies there, I guess. So we need a red key card. I guess. Okay, they're just unloading into me. Yeah, I don't know, like, what am I supposed to do to not get shot and die from this guy? I guess we just have to restart the whole thing. That's okay, I feel like we can get through this a lot quicker than we did before. Interesting, I didn't come over here before. So... quite dark. Yeah, it's cool. I like having little, I don't know if you want to call this secret, but just kind of out of the way places to discover like this. But I feel like you should put something here other than an enemy, because you don't like. Oh, well, as a player, you know, finding an enemy isn't like a reward for snooping around, right? So I feel like you should put, you know, just a couple ammo packs or something around here. It's just something to pick up. I cannot see anything. Oh, we're still, oh, okay, so there's lights over here. Yeah, this is a little bit too dark. I'm not sure if this is pitch black at the moment, but it looks pitch black on my screen, so very disorienting. But I guess we've got little thing over here. Oh, nice. Okay, so there we go. So that's cool. We get a little secret pickup over here, so that's appreciated. But yeah, even so, I would, you know, this feels kind of like a big secret, but I would just tuck a little ammo or something, you know, just something small to pick up over here or whatever, just to make the player feel like, oh yeah, I was a good boy and I explored the level a little bit more thoroughly than I needed to, kind of thing. And okay, so what's on 4? I would like to have maybe a last weapon button. You know, I think on Half-Life, it was a long time ago I played it, but I think on Half-Life, like they have the Q key where it switches to your last equip weapon. That kind of thing is nice. Oh gosh. Who's shooting now? Oh my gosh, that guy's... Okay, I'm hitting reload and I'm not reloading, so I guess we're out of ammo until we do that. Yeah, so I'm really... Oh, shoot. I felt for a moment there my brain was thinking about doing like a quick melee attack. so many FPS games I've played recently, there's like a melee button, you know. So that's where my brain went for a moment, but I didn't realize that we don't have that in this game. You have to actually like manually change to the melee weapon. So what I was going to say is I'm really starting to notice the lack of the spatial audio You can't really tell if they're far away or, you know, left or right or whatever. So, like I said, that appears to be just a little bit of an oversight by the developer, and they're completely aware of it, so not really important to point that out. Other than that, it's what I'm experiencing at the moment, so where do we go from here again? Oh, whoa, okay. So, yeah, I was like zoomed in, I was holding the right mouse button, then I picked up the shotgun, and it switched automatically to the shotgun and then did the alternate fire because I was holding the right mouse button, so that was kind of goofy the way that worked out. But apparently this has an alternate fire. I tend to forget about alternate fire in games like this. I just like forget to use it. Okay, I genuinely don't remember where I'm supposed to be going. I think it's just straight this way. Okay. Oh gosh. Oh, he just tanked that one. I shot him in the dick, I guess. I don't know if there's headshots in the game or whatever. Yeah, always annoying trying to deal with that V-Sync. Especially trying to do quick aiming. Like if you aim slow, then that's not too much of a problem, but trying to do like a quick flick or whatever and hitting that right, really messed up when you have that extra input latency. So I guess the alternate fire, I'm just gonna guess, is a I don't know if it shoots 2 shells at once kind of thing or whatever. Like I don't want to waste I only have 12 shots, so I don't want to waste it to find out what that does. Okay, it did not use 2 shots. I don't know what the alternate fire does. It sounds different. Yep, I have no idea. Okay, what is... Got 2 ways to go here. I'm gonna run out of shotgun ammo here. Oh, it switched right to the rocket launcher. There you go. I forgot I even had that. Uh-oh. Oh gosh. Yeah, so still taking a ton of damage. I'm not seeing an obvious way to avoid that from these guys. They just spit bullets at you and you just kind of get hit by them, you know. So I think this is whoa. Okay. That's too bad. I was hoping the first shot would take care of him, but I guess it just hit the one and didn't reach the others. Then what's up with this cactus? I feel like this just stands out so much. That's cool. Oh, plasma rifle, okay. Okay, so we came from there. A little bit confusing to wrap your head around when there's a lot of different ways to go. Just want to make sure I don't forget or miss parts of the level, you know. It kind of feels bad to do that, I guess. Restricted area, okay.
Huh?
Oh my gosh. Right, we got the red keycard. I got stuck on this ledge. I'm hoping there's not fall damage because I just want to jump. Steep drop off. It says danger, but only one way to find out, I guess. I'm actually kind of, if I had to guess, I think there probably is going to be fall damage, but okay, I can crouch under here. That's cool. That's fun. Up. Okay, took fall damage. I felt like maybe if I'd aimed that a little bit better, I could have made it to that ledge. There wasn't enough. What does that do? I don't know what that does. There wasn't enough air control for me to adjust, I guess, maybe. I don't know why I would go back and try it again, but... Okay, gotta reach for the 5 key for this one. So we got the red key card, which... Haha! Okay, well, figured that out. I think we're up here.
Huh?
So I killed the guy in one shot. I don't know if I hit him in the head or whatever. It's not clear to me like whether or not there's that element of, you know, weak spots in the enemies. So a lot of shooters don't have that, and oh, I can't crouch and walk under this one. That would be something. I feel like if you're gonna have this ability to like crouch under certain things, that you kind of want to be sort of consistent about that. So I would suggest maybe even modify this table to make that possible. Just so there's just no ambiguity about that in the levels and stuff. I think it just makes sense from a game design standpoint to have that be like, where you don't have these situations where it kind of looks like, maybe you can go under there, but you can't actually. Just in general, I think it's a good idea to make that unambiguous. Alright, I guess that's the end. Oh. That's funny. You don't typically think of a rocket launcher as doing double duty as a grenade launcher. It just seems funny as it just kind of spits out the rocket without the engine or something. That's kind of fun. I wish I could see the thing come out of it a little better. Maybe just have like a lighter trail or something. It's just a little hard to see that and like where it's going and stuff. So that's fun. And then we've got. I guess that's probably gonna knock enemies away. We do have bullet trap weapons, it looks like. Interesting, even this one has bullet travel, it's just quite fast. So yeah, I like, you know, secondaries and everything, that's fun. You do have the issue of having to figure out what they do. I guess it's not that big a deal, it's just kind of annoying if you... The ammo I've been given so far is, you know, it's been adequate. There hasn't been that many enemies, but it's not so much that I feel like I can just kind of throw it away, you know. So... It is what it is, I suppose. I guess if you wanted, you could always just have like a little text pop up and it says like, you know, when you first pick up the weapon, and then it says like secondary fire does such and such or whatever. And I wouldn't mind seeing that, I guess, but either way, it's fine. I guess that we do this and we get our little confetti, and that was the way it did before. If I click continue, I guess we just go back to the beginning here. So yeah, I think I was talking about the layout of the level design a lot. I don't really know what the sounds he's making mean. It's just kind of ambiguous to me. I like how kind of punchy it is when you stab a guy with this. It sort of feels good, I guess. Yeah, okay, so about the level, I mean, obviously this AI is kind of crappy, but the developer sort of described it as such. This is very easy to miss, which, whatever, in a full game, I'm sure it would show up in another place or whatever, but just point that out. It's just kind of, doesn't feel like it stands out or anything. I don't know if maybe you could do some little shader nonsense or whatever and give it a little shine or something if you wanted to, but yeah, so level isn't that hard to figure out, but I do feel like it does have a little bit of a sprawl and it's not that much feeling like, I mean, like I said before, it doesn't feel like it's really nudging you in any direction at any moment. So I feel like maybe just a little bit more of a directionality to things. It does feel like, obviously there's only so many places you can go at the moment, so you can figure it out. But, it feels like you kind of go off in one direction and you have to just like turn around and go off in a completely different direction, and you like turn in a different direction. And maybe if you have it sort of follow a little bit more of a path in the overall like shape of the level or something, maybe that would help to create a certain sense of, this way forward kind of thing. Obviously you don't want it to be a straight line, and I'm not gonna, suggest anything like that, but yeah, I don't know what the secondary on this thing does. I don't know, it kills things. Can this be used for? Oh, it does kick me up a bit. Oh, looked like I was kind of like almost up there. Oh yeah, okay, interesting. But what? Okay, this seems to hurt me, so there's some kind of a like area of effect. That is quite small, but that's interesting. Yeah, I definitely like having, little bits of the level that you can sort of discover, like, little out of the way things. I think just any game like this can benefit from this kind of stuff, and it's not like it's not that obvious. I mean, people have played games for a long time, they can notice stuff like this right away, where it's like, oh, I can jump up here and get somewhere a little out of the way. But I always think it's a good idea, definitely add these areas into the levels, but also just put a little something there, just like I said before, it's kind of like giving them a pat on the head or something for being a good gamer or whatever. Definitely like to see that kind of thing. And I guess that's the spent thing. I feel like this stuff, you might as well just make it disappear over time. I don't think it really adds anything to leave it there indefinitely. Oh, he's just kind of hanging off here. Oh, you can kind of just walk onto this. I'm not using the spacebar or anything, I'm just kind of walking, and it just sort of gets up on that corner. It's kind of weird. Yeah, that's a little weird. You should probably fix that. It's just kind of sort of annoying if there's a railing here. It's supposed to keep you from falling, but then you just end up falling down, and it's kind of goofy. So, only other thing I would say is, yeah, I'm thinking about that issue. I didn't pick up the. Oh, there's no ammo in that thing. So I'm thinking about that issue of the damage avoidance where we don't really have a clear way to do that. So one thing I'm noticing, because I kind of get the idea with these guys specifically, that, you know, maybe there's a little bit of a pattern to where they're shooting and then when they're not shooting, but the problem is that they don't have any sort of telegraph for their shots coming out. So, you know, you'll be kind of, you know, I'm trying to like, maybe I'm gonna hide back here until it's a good time to go over and shoot, but they just kind of shoot without any warning whatsoever. So I just end up, you know, obviously I'm taking the shots because I don't have anything to tell me like, okay, they're about to shoot, it's time to take cover, and then I'll wait for them to stop and then I'll go and shoot them. You know, that would at least, you know, that's one form of solving the issue of damage avoidance, right? So that would make sense, I think. But I guess there's other ways to approach that. You know, sometimes you have enemies that have really bad aim or whatever, and maybe it takes them a while for their aim to get better, and if you shoot them before their aim gets good enough or something, then maybe that'll work. But I think a big thing is, you know, like I said, having telegraphs is a really good idea, and you can do that with other sorts of enemies, even the human ones and stuff. They don't have to necessarily, you know, sit there and rev up their gun and make like a really obvious sound, but maybe just having an animation or something. Maybe they just stop in place for a moment and take aim and then they shoot or something. Little things like that, I guess, can help. Obviously, if you can have projectiles like Doom does, that's great, because then you can just like sidestep them and stuff like that. But
Huh?
yeah, I'm not sure. I imagine there could be some element in place where if you're moving fast enough, then maybe they're gonna miss more than they do otherwise. I don't know if that's already the case, but there's stuff like that. That can definitely help. But in general, that's the whole thing, the whole topic in and of itself. So that's my thoughts on things currently. I feel like, yeah, it's great to see a new level, and I feel like there's some nice little details to it. Everything is quite crisp and crunchy and punchy, and I'm glad to see that. So yeah, I feel like there's just... Okay, I missed that because I didn't press jump soon enough. I'm gonna try that one more time because I can. But yeah, I feel like there's just a couple of little things that could be improved upon there, and then that would feel like the rest of what we got here is pretty much feeling fun and satisfying already. So yeah, I'm actually surprised that I guess you can make that with the actually, I'm gonna try one thing. Okay, that was underwhelming. So I know that this thing kicks you up a little bit, but that was kind of, I was like, oh, it was so close. Maybe if I use this, that would help a little bit. I don't know, maybe if you do it while you're jumping, it does more than it does if you use it while you're falling or something. But yeah, I feel like you could do more with this kind of thing. And if this is going to kick you up like that, I feel like maybe just give it just a little bit more. Make it a little more obvious, and then you can maybe use it in a little more situations. Like maybe this would have worked more. Maybe you can also tweak it so that if you're falling, maybe it cancels more of your falling inertia, rather than only adding a little bit of a impulse there to whatever your current inertia is. I don't know. But in any case, yeah. So I'm surprised you can't make that jump. I feel like that should be a thing. It just seems like the level's going to laid out like that. Maybe technically you can, but it's not really designed such that it's possible in the way that how do you say it? If it has to be like pixel perfect or something, it feels like the level isn't designed that way intentionally, right? So yeah, I feel like that kind of thing is fun, especially if you want to do like you know, I don't know if it's a speed run, like you want speedrunners in you're playing your game or whatever. They could do this kind of thing. Yeah, so it's definitely possible if you do it when you jump in like that. Yeah, that's cool, and obviously anyone who's going to speedrun, like I said, is going to figure that out. It's not that hard, but I feel like you could do the, you know, design for everyone else and make things a little more obvious for them. And you do take damage, but I don't know. Maybe there could be some like legitimate reason why you might want to do that. I guess you could always just not. These guys are quite loud. You could always just not have fall damage. Also, I'm not sure if you're really benefiting from that. You know what I mean? Because it's always like. I feel like anything you're going to put in a game, you have to have a justification for, right? And a lot of the time, we just add stuff like fall damage, which just kind of makes sense on paper, but it's not actually like doing anything in terms of game design. You know what I mean? And in this case, it's also not really. Maybe it's not hurting anything. Depends on how you're making the levels. Obviously, there was a part of the level where I could get hurt from that. But yeah, I don't know. Like, would the game be better with or without that? I guess is the question you want to answer. And if you did remove it, then at least it would give you a little bit more freedom for just kind of jumping around like that. I think if anything, if it's going to have some kind of a positive effect on the game design, maybe it would be like discouraging taking giant shortcuts or something. And it's like, you know, I think it makes sense to have that kind of thing where it's like maybe you don't want the player to just jump off somewhere as opposed to going through the level. But also, I guess, you know, you technically can. You just get a little bit of a punishment for it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just something I think about when I think about this sort of thing, where it's like, do you really need to punish the player for that, or can you just let them do it? But probably rambled on enough. I think, yeah, would like to see the enemy design and AI and the whole damage avoidance issue worked on more. And then with that, I feel like I already said this, but the guns and everything feel really good, so I feel like it'd be a lot of fun to play this game once we see that. And I hope that that's some useful feedback. Definitely let me know if you have any questions, and I'm going to see you in the next video.